The time is coming for you to look at that list of goals you made to accomplish this year. Will you be happy or sad? Get out of the frustration of always trying and not being able to reach your objectives. This channel will help you learn to plan and manage your money strategically. I will share 7 foolproof tips to start having money left at the end of the month. I want to motivate you to practice small actions that can begin to transform your mindset. Congratulations, you like to consume knowledge. Your success is only a matter of time.
Please subscribe and support the video with your like. Help us reach the first 1,000 subscribers.
Faster, faster!
Help us reach the first 1,000 subscribers.
In the last few days, did you notice that Wall Street was quite agitated? This shows how fragile confidence in the stock market has become. Understand what you can do so you are not swept away by this wave of financial instability. Even if you currently have no money, the world economy directly affects your life. That is why it is important that you do the most you can to protect yourself and keep you and your family safe. You probably don't have any Bitcoin, and like many, do not understand how the financial world works. You will be affected by the rise or fall of the financial market. So I will start sharing personal management tips on this channel. Write in the comments, how do you deal with your money? Do you spend what you earn, or do you habitually have a financial reserve? What are your difficulties with money? Many years ago, I didn't understand anything about economics. I just worked myself to death and lived with the feeling that I was always putting out fires. Living without a financial reserve, without a minimum monthly amount of money adequate to have the lifestyle I thought I deserved. That was a reality for many years in my life. What changed? I learned that I could manage my money better. And of course, I also learned that I could earn a lot more. However, before learning to earn more, you have to learn to deal with what you have. Does that make sense to you? That is why I start paying more attention to economic news. This can help you not frustrate your plans for the future. Unfortunately, nowadays, we have data leaks that should be private. The fall of Bitcoin, the increase of the tech bubble, instability worsened by the continuous collective outbreak of ignoring the consequences that the war has on the world. While some are afraid of losing part of what they have, others despair for fear of losing everything they possess. Something I always like to repeat is that money can limit or expand your possibilities. Economics is not something from another world. It is not difficult or complicated. It is fundamental for you to stop surviving and start living and actually begin to enjoy life. The financial market is moody and unstable. Bitcoin was reaching levels that corporate and institutional investors and after a time of constant rise. Now that it is falling, it leaves many not knowing what to do. If you do not have Bitcoin, you may think it has nothing to do with you. I'm sorry, my dear friend. Economics is like the seasons. Imagine the world as a big seesaw. Sometimes it is up, sometimes it is down. The only certain thing is that everything can change from one moment to the next. It has its hotter moments, and sometimes it has severe winters, and regardless of your knowledge or financial condition, inevitably this will affect your pocket and directly influence your life. In desperation, many who bought at high prices. Now on impulse based on fear, many are selling cheap. That is, they will be at a loss. I do not have superpowers, therefore I do not know what the future will be. The only thing I am sure of is that always over time, whether on Wall Street today or in the distant past, many years ago, those who adapt use crises to grow. We all deal with money. So dedicating part of your time to acquire a bit of knowledge can make a difference in how your life will be impacted by waves of financial instability. Investors predict turbulence in the coming months. This is because analysts understood that some things are overvalued. But suddenly, the market fell. Did you know that the Dow Jones lost 300 points? This left Wall Street perplexed, not knowing what is happening. Everything indicates that the Federal Reserve's Monetary Policy Committee will show an increasingly aggressive stance. What does this mean? The tech bubble, combined with the fall of Bitcoin associated with other factors of rise and fall of other global companies, will affect the financial stability of everyone. That is, whether one has much or little will feel the difference in what each can do with their money. How to protect yourself? The less money you have, the more necessary it becomes to learn to earn more. And mainly, besides earning more money, you need to learn to manage better what you have available at the moment. If you learn to manage little money, the chances increase more and more of you having an ever larger amount of money. If you do not know how to deal with a few dollars, you will never be able to build wealth and achieve If someday you come to have financial rise and raise your standard of living, you need to educate yourself financially. This will prevent you from returning to poverty and losing what you conquered. Knowledge gives you the power to make better choices. What clothes to wear, what food to buy, where to live, how old age will be. All of this is influenced by the amount of money you have. This channel invites you to expand your mind, and with that also, expand your possibilities of access to the best things in life. In times of global financial instability, while many despair, a few people see a rare opportunity that cannot be wasted. If you are watching this video of mine, you have enough to take advantage of access to knowledge, study, grow, and transform your life. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, traditional money, physical and digital companies. The president, your favorite actor, your boss, your coworker, Elon Musk, or you and me. Do you know what we have in common? All, in their due proportions, deal with money. Something that influences each of our quality of life is the knowledge each one has regarding the financial world. Despite the global financial crisis, many people flaunt. Flaunting nowadays boils down to the desire to buy something to show off to others. Do you flaunt? In a world where luxury serves as a class divide, sometimes people fall into the temptation to want to seem what they are not. This goes much further because it involves a collective desire to want to seem to have what they do not have. We are living in a world full of contrasts. But with this video, I only want to focus on you and me. How do we deal with this global crisis and manage our lives? Time is not money. Chimi is life. Many forget the true functionality of money. It is neither a villain nor a hero. Of course, having money helps solve many problems, but not all problems are solved with money. That is why many people who chase the dream of getting rich, when they reach this dream, feel empty and sad. If the focus of your life is to make money, I'm sorry, one day you will also look back and feel regret. Just as a road leads to somewhere, view money as a vehicle, a means for you to get what you really want, many people live to work while others work to live. The undeniable contrast of these modern times is that it has never been so easy for people to move up socially. I know that the world's inequality only grows while some are left homeless. Overnight, the phenomenon of the new rich happens. Understanding a little about economics can propel you toward your dreams. The way you manage money can be an excellent exercise to expand the mind and overcome your emotional limits. Leaving your comfort zone by dedicating time to organize and plan your future requires strategic thinking. You will also be able to change your reality. This channel will talk about money, economics, prosperity, abundance, mindset, growth, and wealth building. If you want to prosper and grow in life, welcome to your finance and personal growth channel, PatriMony. Subscribe. I would like to see you here more often. Many young people explore technology and become the first in their family to become millionaires. Unfortunately, few of these new rich remain rich over the years because many are dazzled by the new possibilities. Begin to flaunt and soon return to where they came from. Money does not accept being disrespected by anyone. When it is not well treated, it does not stay. It does not matter who you are, money is democratic. It treats everyone equally. A pity that not everyone has financial education to deal better with money. That is why I want to contribute with the learnings that changed my life. The way you deal with your money can limit or expand your possibilities of having a better future. Financial education is something that will transform your future. Managing your money well can be a challenge because we all suffer from pressure from society to shop without stopping. To think if purchases are really necessary, what do you prefer? A new piece of clothing or more money in your bank? If this at the moment is far from your possibilities, I suggest you start with the minimum you can. It can be $1 a week, but strive to start saving money. The crux of the matter is not earning or spending, but mindset. Have you noticed that sometimes people do the same things, but the results are different? Mindset influences the quality of our results. The sooner you learn this, the more effort, frustrations, and energy you will save. To identify if you have a scarcity mindset or not, answer quickly. Do you work so money does not run out, or do you work so money is left over? Write your answer in the comments. Also, write where you are watching this video from. Sponsor my work with your subscription. It costs nothing to you, but it means a lot to me. So, thank you for your support. For many years, I had a mindset that was always based on lack. It took time, but I understood that this limited my experiences. Because of that, I did not have real pleasure in achieving my goals. I lived tense and worried about nothing lacking. This became a snowball that only grew. No matter how much money I earned, I never felt secure. Share with me, what are your biggest insecurities regarding money? Before, I was afraid I would not earn enough to pay the monthly bills. I was terrified of losing my job. Although, for many years, I only earned minimum wage. It took time, but I understood that I earned the minimum because I was not being strategic. From the moment you begin to have the clarity that you can change your life, from that moment, a change begins inside your head. This makes you stop and think twice before spending. Understand that sacrifices are momentary, and your discipline and willpower will lead you to your next level. Live with purpose. Because otherwise, you will waste your life striving every day to fulfill other people's dreams. Live to realize your own dreams. Understand that the world is prosperous and abundant. Unfortunately, we have the problem of inequality. This is a consequence of incompetent and greedy human administration. That is why it is important that you lift your eyes to creation and realize that everything exists in abundance. Therefore, your fear of lacking something and of experiencing some kind of need comes from your emotional limitations. Your limiting beliefs because of bad past experiences prevent you from walking fearlessly toward the future. Do you agree with me? If you stop and think we are born with nothing, and when our last day arrives we leave with nothing, the coffin has no drawer. I want you to allow yourself to live incredible experiences and provide the best you can for you and your family. But for that to happen, you will have to modify the way you relate to your money. Stop spending as if you were a billionaire. First tip, make a simple expense control. But first, I know that to follow any tip you have to get the necessary motivation to install new consumption habits. Adults do what needs to be done and do not need motivation. Because when motivation is lacking, discipline comes into action. For you to have the discipline to note your income and expenses, I want you first to stop and think about your life goal. What is it? Buy a house, travel with friends, or provide care for those you love. It does not matter what your goal is. I know it involves money. Second tip, make a dream board. Have clarity about your goals and objectives. Take time to research exactly all the time and the specific amount of money you will need to achieve your goals. Before making your dream board, make a list of everything you desire. Put it in order of priority. Separating short, medium, and long-term goals makes it easier for you to persevere without giving up. Because short goals are achieved, you feel the encouragement of reaching your reward in a short time. Plan for medium and long-term goals, strategic stops for you to analyze if you are doing everything right and from. Time to time, it is important you give yourself a reward proportional to your effort to motivate you to remain disciplined. This reward cannot compromise your financial health. Therefore, have clarity about what your dreams are. Make a dream board and keep it always near your field of vision. This will help you control your spending. You will be able to be disciplined by rejecting momentary desires because of a greater purpose, which are your dreams and goals. This must never be lost from sight. Third tip, never ask if there is a discount. Always ask, what is the discount? Instead of answering just yes or no, this forces the other person's brain to think of a value after they answer ask. Is that the best you can do? The rich are people who value their money, and you should do the same. Do not be ashamed to ask for a discount. And whenever possible, do research looking for the cheapest while keeping an eye on quality. Many times, prices do not correspond to the proportional value of things, so it is useful to research. With just a few clicks, you can save a lot. Fourth tip, pay attention to what you are going to buy. First, analyze if you really need it. Because real saving is not in buying cheaper. You will truly save only if you do not spend. If you are poor, value your money and stop spending on nonsense because that can prevent you one day from becoming rich. Fifth tip, never ever gamble. You will, besides losing money, lose your dignity. Do not enrich others with your innocence. Do not be dumb. Do not gamble. Learn to transform your hope into smart work. Sixth tip, neuroscience technique. Put a thin elastic band, preferably not too tight nor too loose, on your wrist. Every time you feel like gambling or making a purchase you know is unnecessary, pull and release the elastic. The pain will not kill you, but it will bring the necessary discomfort for your brain to understand it was not a good idea. Then give yourself the opportunity to change focus, drink water, or stretch. That is enough for you to change the neural route and change thought. The urge subsides each time it appears weaker. Thus, you begin a history of trust based on self-control and discipline. Easy to say, but hard to do. But only those who do not give up and really want to change their lives succeed. Seventh tip, analyze all your subscriptions. Review what you pay monthly and analyze which ones you use the least. Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, Premium, etc. If you did not use it, or used it very little in the last 30 days, I think it is an unnecessary expense. What to do with what you save? Set that money aside so you do not have the false impression that it is money you can spend on anything. The objective of saving is for you to take the first step to get out of the bottom of the well and stop living in despair. So every saved penny has to go to your emergency fund. This reserve will be the first step to your independence. Agreed. If you do not have much, take what you have and set it aside. Your willpower will make you not give up. I will not promise that your life will change overnight, Although that is not impossible, we all know it is likely not to happen. Life changes have to be organized and planned. You will not start having the life of your dreams if you do nothing. Your life desire has to be greater than the passing impulse to want to buy. Start writing down your expenses, and then comparing with the amount you earned gives you the opportunity to rethink the quality of your life. Thus, you realize if you are living or merely surviving, buying is not necessarily a problem. It becomes a problem if your conditions do not allow it. You must face that unnecessary expenses in your case is flaunting. Force yourself to live on less than you earn. This may be the beginning of your game change. I know there are situations of real fragility where a person's life situation is full of problems. This distances them from the possibility of improving their life. That is not true. We can all improve our lives. It is true that many people are disadvantaged and their problems make change of life more difficult. When we talk about money, unfortunately, we see a giant wall separating people from their dreams. If at least one person follows these tips, my efforts to make this video will already have been worth it. The entertainment industry works hard to capture your attention and awaken your desire to buy things you do not need. To one day make money work for you, you have to learn how interest growth works. You have to learn the basics of the financial world. You first have to go to action. Do you accept the challenge? It is something simple but transformative. Make your dream board, spread it across all environments, and build the habit of writing down expenses and income. Try not to give in to the temptation to buy things you do not need. It does not matter if it is cheap or if it is on sale. Real saving is not spending. Remember that, okay? Do not flaunt money you do not have. Start saving even if little. Soon I will give simple and practical suggestions for you to increase your earnings so you will not need to be worried only about saving. The world is abundantly rich. But for now, just live according to what you can afford. One step at a time. Small changes can lead you to great results. Take advantage that it is free and subscribe to my channel. Your subscription is a great support. Thank you very much. Which of these tips I gave can you put into practice immediately? Do you know how to organize yourself financially? Can you control your monthly expenses? Write in the comments. That way you can inspire me to produce content that specifically helps you with your problem. It may be that your topic suggestion is used to make my next video. See you.